Live to Facebook.
I just want to share it.
You're on air, so.
Oh, we're on. Okay, well then. I'm going to leave my camera off though for a second. Patsy Kelly.
Where are you, Eric Cohen?
I would rather not be seen this week. Oh, hey!
There you are!
Hi, how are you?
Well, I'm fabulous.
It's good to be back.
I know it. Where the heck were we?
Where were we? Gosh, the last we were together was last month. Actually, it was the last day of January.
I had a real time getting this all to work just now. So
if people,
I'm in that way that you love. I'm very flustered and upset right now. So I need everyone to calm down.
If only people could have seen what was going on right before.
I was freaking out. I was, but this has been.
If only people could have. Oh, wait a minute, I got to turn that volume.
Yeah, turn that off.
The only thing is I'm having an issue right now sharing the show to my page.
All right, you want me to do it? I'll do it.
You know what it is? I can't. I'm having an issue sharing it from the timeout page. I'll just share it from my page, or share it from your page. Excuse me.
Yeah, share it.
That's all right.
You got a copy? Yeah.
While I do that, why don't you you want to fill people in on this nice little interview you did a few days ago?
Oh, thank you for asking.
Yes, and let people know. A lot of people.
Oh my gosh. For me, it was I was very honored to be asked to be on there. I was on Gail Boyd is a prominent jazz booking person. Prominent.
Yes, she has very much so.
Her roster is John Clayton. I mean, just all the top echelon.
Yeah.
And she has a show, and she's a lovely person, and she's very knowledgeable. And she asked me to be on to talk about my journey to jazz. That's my wording, by the way, journey to jazz. And her site is called Alternative Venues for Jazz. I believe that she put this together because of the pandemic, and it gave us all a place to get together, just like what you and I do and what so many people do.
Sure.
But I'm excited because I have almost 800 views already of that interview.
800 views. I imagine that'll go up too after
a lot for
this show.
It's really cool. So I'm just braggy and all.
No, you should, and take it from me. I watched it. I've actually watched it 5 times.
I watched it a couple times. I thought at first I thought I was a little brassy. I mean, I can come off brassy.
No.
But I said no. It was kind of cool.
No, you even full disclosure to our audience, you even asked me that on the phone. Did I come across? And I said, absolutely not.
No, but let me tell you something. When you're doing now, you and I have each other. Like we're in a room, we're together, we're dear friends, we talk, we chit chat, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So, but when you're just here, like with the camera, and you're just supposed to talk, it was so awkward.
Yeah. 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 I
I
mean,
was a little nervous, not because I was just nervous about how I was going to pull that off. And I had like all these notes. I had pages of notes. I never looked at them once because once I got rolling, you know me, Eric, you've known me forever. Once I'm on stage,
there is no off button. No.
there is no off button for me.
Oh my goodness. So I do want to encourage people, if you have not seen it or you want to watch it again, and I even watched it twice too. Again, people can find it on your page, correct?
Yeah, it's right there. Yep. It's
About
right
a half hour. It's wonderful. And again, if you don't
I
know
told some stories that I haven't told before. This is not a braggy thing. I mean, I've done so many interviews and I've had so many things in so many magazines, the same blasted questions over and over. So I thought, I've got to say something that no one asked me. So I just went into this whole description of what my life was like in Philly, and it was cool.
Oh, it really was. And again, for those people who are not familiar with Gail Boyd, Google Gail Boyd, and you'll see what Nancy's talking about.
I was thrilled. I was just thrilled, and I was thrilled to meet her. It's like she's to me like one of those people. If you saw her at an event, you wouldn't just walk up to her.
No.
She wouldn't have it.
Right.
So
I know that was definitely a highlight of your week. And again, we took off last week because of the Super Bowl. Congratulations!
It was such a letdown.
I mean, we really should have done a show.
Terrible. The best thing was the girl at the beginning. She calls herself HER. She was phenomenal.
Oh, did you liked her?
I liked her. I thought the rest of it was junk.
What did you think of the anthem with
I didn't like any of it.
African American singer and the country guitar? No.
Yeah, I'm not. No comment. NC.
But you are a fan of the Whitney Houston.
Well,
national.
In my opinion, and also some other people in my life, the Whitney Houston version. There's no sense. There's just no sense in trying to do that because she did the best version of that of anybody I've ever heard. So why bother? But I don't even want to, whatever. Yeah. And it was weird because the Bills weren't in.
No, I know the Bills were not in.
I don't like that Tom Brady guy, so everybody can get mad at me. I don't like him.
I was thinking by the start of the second half, I was almost going to call you and say, hey, we should do a show because our show would be more exciting than the game.
Oh, it was awful.
Let's just say hi to our friends, and then we're going to bring on a dear friend of ours, and also, of course, wish everybody. We've already gotten people wishing us in the chat. Let's wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. We all remember when it used to be such a big deal to us.
I know, right? Last year Valentine's Day was about a month before everything changed.
I've been reading that on Facebook. People are going, "Oh my God, the world ended after."
So we want to say just quick hello, Donna. Donna is watching. Donna Militello Calandra, and thank you, Deborah. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. Deborah Ford loved your interview and said you did a fantastic job. Rosalind Blue, we love Rosalind. Beth Ann Dice is here, as always. And Donna agrees with you that her HER was a fabulous guitar player.
I like the way she sings. She was a great guitar player, but
and her voice
really
too.
Dug the way she sang. I thought she was. Is all that? I'm right in thinking all of that is pre-recorded because, and people are always complaining about that. Oh, they're lip syncing. Well, let me tell you something. If you have ever sang in a stadium, I will tell you the slap back almost makes it impossible to sing. There's a slap back of sound. So
Now
you
have you ever sung in a stadium?
Oh, I've sang before ball games and all kinds of stuff.
Oh wow! Oh, so you've probably sung out at the old Chiefs Stadium, right?
Yes, several times, but also for
And,
hockey games and the crunch and all that baloney.
and that's tough when you're
Back when I
singing.
was young and
Yeah.
hot chick.
Well, you're still young and you're still hot.
Well, you're sweet.
Anyway, I want to say also a quick hello to my dear friend Renee. Renee Maccabee, who's watching down in Florida. Hello, Renee. Thanks for tuning in. Donna Pacini is with us. Jeff Martin is with us. And guess who else is with us? Our special guest. And you're going to bring him on. Well, I guess I want to just put a picture up so people can see.
I have a better one than that.
But you have a better one than that. I think you actually have the real deal.
I have a really good one.
I immediately stopped the share. So I agree, Donna Militello. You are still a hot chick, Nancy.
Oh, you guys are crazy. You're all lunatics.
No, they're not. They're not. All right. So what are you gonna?
Well, let's bring Scott on and we'll talk about how Scott, everybody, before he comes on, is probably would be next to Eric Cohen. He is one of my dear friends. And he's another person that I sit up ungodly hours at night talking to.
That's right. Scott and I can compare late night conversations with Nancy Kelly. Bring him on.
Let's bring him on. I got to ask to start his video, ask to unmute. So let's hope he'll...
Hi, Nance from Platt Street.
From who? There, Scott. We
and there he is. We just got to.
You're there.
You just need to unmute. You just need to unmute him.
We can't hear you, honey. You got to unmute your mic.
There we go.
Are the parents gone? Can we have a party?
There's my baby. There's my baby.
Happy Valentine's Day, you guys. Eric, man, it's been forever. How are you?
I was saying, Scott, I can't remember the last time we got together. Of course, I can't remember the last time I hugged somebody, but
I know.
Yeah.
I saw my sister today and forgot to hug her.
But happy Valentine's to you, my friend.
And to you.
Yeah. No, we thought, Nancy and I thought, we need a special guest for Valentine's Day, somebody that just emotes love and happiness. And immediately we thought Scott Dennis.
You're making me blush here.
I can tell.
Come on, man.
Nancy, it seems so strange. It's not like 11:30 at night and I'm not in my pajamas. So.
Hey, listen.
What kind of pajamas do you wear?
Usually really cool fuzzy flannel ones. You know, I'm old school.
Fuzzy.
Scott, Nancy does not usually ask the pajama question until very late in the show.
We're intimate friends in the way of
but
intellectual intimacy, you know.
But Scott, as Nancy and I were I don't know if you heard us. Nancy and I were saying that you and I can both relate to talking to Nancy, having some great late night conversations, and hearing some stories from Nancy that probably will never make it to this show.
As JP and I say,
oh my word!
They must not. They must not leave the vault.
Most of them to my grave.
They must not leave the vault ever.
Anyway, all right. So Scott, let's just start digging. No, we're not going to talk about it.
Wait, Eric's going to call you after the show.
Hey, did you hear
what she say to you, man?
Yeah, you and I should have a conversation ourselves, Scott, and we could compare Nancy notes.
No.
And I think we should, and I think Eric and I should write a tell-all. But
I'm all for it, Scott. I'm all for it.
You know, as far as this show is concerned, I've told a lot anyway, so it's all right.
Yeah, but there's so much more to be told. So,
indeed.
Well, so Scott, tell people like how you and I met. Tell the story about that.
Very interesting, actually. Well, interesting to my friends. I hope others do. But I I'm a native Syracusean, and I love this place, and moved to Florida for 8 years and came back at about the time I was turning 50. And in the meantime, in the years I was away, I lost my vision and moved back to Syracuse and wasn't quite sure where life was going to take me. So two of my dearest friends in the whole world, and they're both listening, Dan Keating, Michael Judice, thank you, because for my 50th birthday, I was given a 4-lesson package with Nancy Kelly and started studying voice and learned a whole lot more than voice over the years. And that's how you and I started.
Tell him you say something funny to me all the time. You go, it took me 2 years to not be afraid of you.
Actually, I was being kind. It was more than that, but I would be terrified. You were at that studio in DeWitt, I think that was Ronnie Lee's, and you were teaching out of there, and I would be shaking when I walked up the stairs.
Really?
Yep.
So the way I felt the first time I interviewed Nancy. I mean, I was shaking too. Yeah.
No, you weren't. I'll come over there and bip you right in the head.
I had some nerves. Yeah.
Really?
I will be professional and say that you're a presence, but really you're a goddess. So.
Oh, see, now you know. Now you know I surround myself with my adoring.
This show is going to be one giant ego boost for Nancy Kelly. Scott, you and I are going to be squeezed out of the Zoom because it's going to be just Nancy.
That's true.
Our heads will not fit in this Zoom screen.
Yeah, but it's Valentine's Day. You have to understand the madness behind my whole thought of having Scott on, because Scott and I we adore each other just like I adore Eric. And I don't have a sweetheart in my life, and you guys are my sweethearts, both of you.
Aww.
And as you are mine, the times that we've spent, and just we can talk about a tune forever, and we can talk about life and politics and everything else. I treasure your presence in my life, and on Valentine's Day, I need to tell you that you are one of my biggest and most fabulous sweethearts.
I'm just walking on sunshine over here.
I don't know. There's nothing I can add to that, really. I mean, no. I mean, you are just.
Donna Militello says I have men shaking in their pants.
Well, yes.
I'm bouncing.
Oh, you're bouncing. It's my favorite part when the bouncing starts.
Oh my God. Oh boy, there's a whole lot of shaking going on. What's that, Jerry Lee Lewis?
Like I don't want to even get into the men shaking in their pants. That's scary. Let's not go down that road. Oh dear.
No, but in all seriousness, I agree with Scott though. Like again, I don't have a special someone in my life right now, but Nance, you are.
We're all sweethearts.
You are, yes, you are a sweetheart to me, and we've both gotten each other through some difficult times in our lives, and doing this show with you for the last. I guess nine months now.
Now, Eric, exactly how many shows have we done?
This is our 34th, I believe. 34th. Now I actually do need to double check that, because I don't want to be wrong. Right now, yes, this is show 34.
Wow.
Can you believe that? Yeah.
And that's 4 plus 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a lucky number. Oh,
that's your lucky.
Don't ask me how sick my brain is.
No, all I know is I started listening to you guys on Robert's balcony. Where's Robert? Right here. Hey, Robert. And it was about 85 degrees, and we were listening outside, and now it's freezing, and we're inside, and it's been all these months, and Sunday nights have just, I love listening to both of you, and
thank you.
So much enjoying,
a lot of people
what
say
a cool little show this is.
Thank you. And it's cool that we have you on, because you're a perfect good fit for this.
Yeah, you are.
I would like, I would like you to tell people about your so everybody needs to know that doesn't know you, or that now is finding out about you. You're a wonderful, wonderful singer, and
thank you.
you have a lot of adoring fans in and around the upstate New York area. And as I had written in the blurb, once we got together and studied and worked, I helped you get out and start a professional solo career. But tell us what happened to you when you was with the little fella, when you were a little fella and the music and what, tell us your little.
It's just, I don't have a heartbeat. I have a medium swing. Um, it's just been, music has been a part of my life. I was talking with my mother today and she's watching. Hi, Mom. And she went through a baby book that she kept for me and made little notes and things. And I recognized music at 9 months old, and it was listed as one of my favorite things at 18 months old. For my 4th birthday, I remember asking my grandparents for a radio. It's just something it's the pace of my life. It's everything I hear, everything I do is musical. And, again, thanks to you, I dabbled in it. I played keyboard. I was a terrible trumpet player in the 4th grade.
That would be a horrible use of those lovely lips.
I played a little organ around town. I remember playing gigs out at the Toad Harbor Lodge on Oneida Lake, and I wasn't even 18. I used to bring my mother and my grandmother along. They would sit at the bar and drink ginger ale while I played and got tips, and I was like, well, this is kind of cool. But I never really had the outlet until I came back to Syracuse and started singing. I always loved singing and sang here and there, but the solo career that I've developed has been the joy of my life. I can't believe I'm the luckiest SOB on the planet. I really am, to be able to live as I live and do what I do. And actually,
you on top of everything, you lost your sight mid-life.
Yes, it started at 41. It was gone pretty much completely by 45. Oh. And it was an adjustment, but it's a trade-off. If I hadn't lost my vision and all that hadn't happened, I would not have been led to the path that I'm on now. So life is good. It really is. I'm very, very fortunate.
Well, you know what I say. I repeat this quite a bit. I mean, it's just like Miles said. I mean, there are no mistakes. Everything has a way of ending up to be something that you needed. I mean, but I don't know. That's a pretty dramatic thing, Scott, that you've gone through. And you, because of your personality, you've risen above it in such a, I don't know what the word is, but it's just really, really admirable the way you move. There's people that come to see you sing and they don't even know. Like they go, "Oh my God," when they see you take out your cane, the thing.
Right.
Yeah. That does always kind of get me.
I know it. I mean, I never even think about it. I just know you as Scott, so it doesn't matter.
In fact, speaking of Scott singing, I'm gonna be posting a picture right now. Nance, I know Nance will.
I'll explain it to Scott.
Yeah.
This is a picture from Scott's absolute favorite gig. So you know where this is. This is in the Cavalier Lounge,
Cavalier Room,
Syracuse, and the absolute perfect place for you. So tell us about that and how that whole thing kind of feels.
And you're rocking a great bow tie, Scott.
Thanks, cute.
I love bow ties.
So does my father.
I still tingle when I think about it. When I was very young, it was my family's Easter tradition to have Easter brunch at the Hotel Syracuse. And I just grew up thinking it was the grandest and most elegant place in town. And hearing Bob Ackerman play the piano and Carl Silver walk among the tables and play the violins, or his violin.
Wow.
And it was just, that was it to me. And I never in a million years dreamed that one day I would be at the Hotel Syracuse. And the Cavalier Room, that was a great little room, and I hope it comes back. I really do.
Well, what did you used to say? It reminded you of the Carlisle or something like that, right?
It did. It reminded me a lot of the Carlisle and places that just don't exist anymore. And the grand piano, the intimacy, the 1924 building so beautifully restored. It was just a time in which I kind of wish I lived, but I can kind of relive it when I'm there. And just when I was a little kid, I would walk in that lobby and look up in absolute awe. And now I walk in that lobby and I'm going to be in the Cavalier Room, and I still have to pinch myself.
It was nice. It's very nice. I understand it's not the pandemic. We're not sure whether it's going to reopen or not. So
Well, let's hope.
we don't,
I really hope it does.
Yeah.
we don't know.
And it was also nice, midweek in downtown Syracuse. It started early enough that a lot of people could come after work, have a little nibble and a drink and hear some music. And I think it was a nice evening, and I really do hope it comes back, as I hope everything comes back. We're all kind of wondering what the future is going to look like. But
Yeah, I know. Nancy and I have been wondering that, I think, since our first show that we did. But I do think that we've come a long way since over the last 9 months, and I feel like now there is. I'd like to say that there's more hope now than there was 6 months ago. There are vaccines, and
oh, absolutely.
A lot of the numbers are going down, but of course, it's still not to push aside the fact that there are so many hundreds of thousands of people who have lost loved ones throughout this pandemic, and jobs have been lost. I mean, it has been a brutal time for this country and for the world, but we're going to come out on the other side of this. And I think music, and Nancy and I have discussed this with a number of guests, I'd like to think that music, live music in general, jazz music especially, because that's our mutual love. But I think live jazz, when it does come back, is going to come back with a roar.
I think it's going to come back like a locomotive.
Exactly.
It's there's such a craving for it already, and as soon as I'd like to think that once the warmer weather comes and we can do things outside and be distanced, I'd like to think it's going to start to come back even this year. Being totally optimistic, but when it comes back, it's going to come back like fury.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's two things that I'm looking forward to so much with the warmer weather, and that's like outdoor live jazz, and then hearing stories of Nancy mowing her lawn every week. But Scott, she loves taking care of her lawn, let me tell you.
Yeah, but I actually do like to mow the lawn. Come on, man.
I know.
I like it. I like to walk it's good. It's exercise. I haven't done a damn thing all week. This is the hard thing about
that's not true.
No, nothing.
This woman works, Scott, you know this. This woman doesn't really take days off.
No, I know.
No, but I mean, as far as I usually walk 2 miles a day, and I haven't gone when it's this cold out. I haven't gone outside, and I don't need to get into that,
But no, Nancy, I'm with you. When I had a house, I loved mowing the lawn. It was like
Thank you.
Yes, I'm walking my little piece of paradise that's all mine, and I'm taking care of it. And that hour that it took, it was very fulfilling.
An hour? That's a bigger one than mine.
Well, actually, very little grass and a lot of stuff that you had to trim around.
What are you talking about down in Florida?
Yeah.
Well, that's weird. That's that strange grass. It's real.
Oh, it is. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's
like strange grass down in Florida?
Well, not like the grass that you're thinking of, Eric.
Wait a second. What kind of grass do you think I'm thinking of? Please.
Well.
Yeah. Well.
I hope my friend Renee knows what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I don't even like to smoke marijuana. I wish I did. It would probably help me sleep better. They're going to legalize it in New York.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think so.
They are. I think they should. They could make some money off it, but like the suckers need more money, but they do.
But when I hear what's happening in Massachusetts, they're just the revenue that's coming in is just paying for all kinds of improvements in the state, and
That's good. But
I think so.
Hope, darn you, you went for a walk. I cleaned the house today, so what did I burn today? I burned a lot today. I did.
You probably walked many miles at that park, right, Nance? Fairhaven State Park?
That's my church.
You know, Scott, I have still never been, in all these years that I've known Nance, I've still never been out to her home in Fairhaven.
Really?
Her castle. Yeah. And she's invited me many times, too.
Yeah, but you just don't want to see.
Then this summer we're going.
This summer, you know what?
All right, you're both invited to 4th of July.
All right.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I hear she can cook, too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm off lately. I don't know what's up with that. Like I don't know. It's like
You're off?
I'm off with my
Come
cooking.
on.
It's not good.
No, you're not.
I can't believe that, but
yeah, well, thank you.
Hey, speaking of cooking, you know who else is a good cook? And I know Beth Ann is in the room, but I got a picture here that Nance can tell Scott about. This is Scott. Well, you want me to say it, Nance?
What's that?
Yeah, well, it's a nice photo I found of Scott and Mr. Joe Cortini.
Oh, hey, Joe.
And Scott is holding up a picture of a gig from September of, I guess, probably I guess it would have been 2019 at Syracuse Suds Factory. And I know you've enjoyed doing some gigs at Suds, obviously with Joe on drums. That place has got its own. It's certainly not. We're not comparing it to the Cavalier Room, but the Suds Factory has its own unique vibe.
Oh no, the Suds Factory is great, and that was actually the site of my very first gig. I had studied with Nancy for a couple of years, and when I just on a limb asked them if they'd hire me for one of their Wednesday nights, and they did, and then subsequently booked me for 3 more. But that was a great room. I've always had a good time there. Played with some great people there, and just the fun. You get the after work crowd, you get your own crowd, but then several Wednesday nights, Suds Factory would have it would be a meeting place, a happy hour place, and then a bus would leave to go to SU games. So that would be a whole different audience that would hang out for a while. And it was a great place. People used to just drop in and out and listen to the music, have a bite to eat. I always enjoyed that room.
Nance, why don't you tell Scott? I put up one other photo.
He put a picture up of you and Joe and JoJo.
Mm.
So this does look like the Cavalier Room, and JoJo is in his suit and tie. He is absolutely adorable.
Oh yeah, he's the best dressed of the three of you.
I hope he's watching.
Of course he is.
It's a great picture of the three of you, I must say.
That's a really great picture. Will you send that to me so we can put it up on Scott's Facebook?
I will. JoJo is the best dressed young man in upstate New York. He really is.
He is.
I'm telling you, Scott. You know how much I have heard. So we had Beth Ann and Joe on our show, and
I watched that one.
Yeah, and they're both regular viewers, and I have heard so many incredible things about JoJo that I'm just itching for the day that we have JoJo on the show. You know?
I think it's going to happen soon.
Well, I think JoJo might be he might turn out to be the most famous Cortini of them all. You know? Sorry, Joe.
That's entirely possible.
Sorry, Chemo.
What?
I said sorry, Joe, and sorry, Chemo, the other Cortini brothers. But yeah, Julie Howard just she made a comment about JoJo.
Beth Ann said that picture was taken after seeing me with the Diva Big Band. So
that was in Casanova.
That was another night that was really fun. Oh,
you were there that night too, Scott? Nancy was with Oh, the Diva
Well,
Jazz.
I got
Oh,
my award for, I don't know which.
yeah. Colleen Prosser presented you with.
Yeah, it was a Casanova. I don't know what it
Oh,
is.
that wonderful little theater. I love that little theater.
Great
Yeah, the
little theater.
the Cummings Theater. Yeah.
Mhm.
Those chicks in that band are taking no prisoners.
Woo.
Oh no, they were amazing.
They were amazing. They were. So, what would be your dream band? Like Scott, like the dream band of
Ooh.
dream bands. Who
Yeah.
would that be? Who do you want back there? Who do you want to turn around and see?
Well, that's a good question.
Well, you know my penchant for big band and those charts and everything else. I think my dream band would be the Basie Band.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll
And
talk.
I would just love to sing some of those, some of the Quincy Jones charts and everything. I would just, that would be my dream come true. And all those horns behind me.
I like working with big bands. It's you had a whole stint working with a local big band in
The local big band, the
Yeah.
Rhythm Heirs,
Yep.
they've been around since 1977, and quite a presence locally for a long time. They were at the Fireside Inn for many years, and it was funny. In 1994, my stepfather, the great Bill Britton, he was a wonderful local trumpet player for many years and well loved. Ended up asking Sal Phillips, the leader of the Rhythm Heirs at the time, if his stepson could sit in. Well, everybody says their kid can sing, but
Yeah, right.
The kid at the time was like 33.
Yeah.
Just put a picture up. I don't know what it is. It looks like it was Jazz Fest in
I'll
the
put it-
square.
I'll put it up again. Yeah, this was in Clinton Square, and I think it's
that was with the Rhythm Heirs with the Northeast Jazz and Wine Fest.
it looks like Dick Ford playing keys, but it's not.
It
Dick,
was
is it?
Dick Ford playing keys
That was
day.
Dick. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I sat in with the band in 1994 and did 3 tunes, and they didn't let me go home for 8 years.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
let's set our goals on a hit with the Basie Band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's set our goals on that. And then maybe who knows? Who knows?
Is it?
Maybe
Well,
someday when Carmen Bradford takes a break.
Any
Yeah, right.
recording I make with any band you're producing, I hope you know that.
So what about a trio? Like who would be your dream
Wow.
just maybe even dream pianist, just to start there? Or would it be organ? Because you and I are both huge fans of the organ.
Yeah, it would also be a dream to work with Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. There's so many great organists, and I've been such a fan of the Hammond for my whole life. I'd love to work with Tony Monaco.
Wow.
Absolutely.
He's got it all. Oh, Tony's got it all going on.
Yeah, I'm thinking I want to do.
I'd love to work with him sometime.
I help kind of co-produce with Joe Cortini what goes on musically for the Fulton Jazz Fest. We put our thinking caps on and we kind of figure out what to do. I would really like to do a thing with Tony Monaco up there. There's not a lot of cats out there anymore. There is, but it's that conversation that I have quite a bit. They're not all necessarily the right fit for you. It has nothing to do, whether they're good or bad. But for me, like piano, what about a pianist?
Oh.
Who do you listen to? See, I listen to all the guys in New York and stuff. So like,
See, and again, I listen to a lot of people, but especially after hearing your Mark Murphy album, I would love the chance to work with John.
that would be a good fit for you.
I was just thinking,
That
what
would
if
be a
Scott,
good fit for you.
I was just thinking, what if Scott drops the name John DiMartino? You
Yeah.
read my mind.
Yeah, no, that would be a really good fit for you.
That's why we're all friends. We all thought of it at the same time.
We all did, really. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be a good fit.
Scott, what did you? I realize that you and I are both going to be very biased when asked this question, but when you first heard Nancy's Mark Murphy, what was What were your first impressions upon hearing that project?
I
Pretend
cried.
Nancy's not even listening.
I
It's
cried.
just you and I.
I cried. It was, I don't know. I couldn't even, and I have listened to it so many times. All summer long, we sit on Robert's balcony and listen to it, and I was blown away. I've been a Nancy fan since I was in my teens, and it was unlike anything I have ever heard her do. Pretty much, and I don't know, there's people who are far more educated than I, but to my ear, to my mind, and to my heart, it was musical perfection.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of work. I'm still paying for it.
And what was also a huge, one of the things I love so much about it is, because you and I are friends, and I was in on so much of the process, and I almost saw this thing come to life with you, and it was just, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen or heard.
Yeah. I mean, and I've got a picture up of the back of the recording with Nancy's photo. Of course, the front has a love. I just love that picture of.
It's adorable.
Mark.
Little
Where
Mark.
was that picture taken again, Nance?
Right here in Fairhaven.
In Fairhaven. Yeah.
What people don't realize, I mean, you would have to read the liner notes. I don't know how many people really do, but the picture of Mark was on. I took a picture on the same dock, and it's inside the record. But we don't need to talk about me. I want to talk about Scott Dennis. I want to talk about
one of my favorite. I think the first time that you and I sat down for a lesson, and I had been a Mark Murphy fan for years. The old Capitol LPs I've had in my collection since I was a teenager. And Nancy said, "Who do you listen to?" So I started rattling off names, and some Sinatra and Bennett, of course, and everything. And I said Mark Murphy, and Nancy said, "What?"
Ding, 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 ding.
What? What? Oh, God. All right. So, Mark Murphy, I mean, he was kind of a cult icon anyway, but I mean, what was one of his favorite records for you?
Well, the only ones I had been exposed to until I met you were the Capitol albums, which were, I guess, now considered kind of mainstream now.
Yeah.
But something big, and well, it's funny because my last name being Dennis, for years on and off, I've had the nickname Mame. So Mark Murphy on the first Capitol.
Wait a minute. Your nickname is Mame?
Mame.
That's what I thought he said. Yeah.
No, you shouldn't have told me that.
That was years ago. But remember that movie Auntie Mame with the really loud, unspoken woman and everything else, and my last name being Dennis. I mean, they called me that a long time ago, along with Dennis the Menace and everything else, and everything that comes as Scott Tissue,
Oh dear.
Oh,
but
man.
Mark, on the first Capitol LP, Mark did a tune called "Put the Blame on Mame."
Yeah.
I just loved it.
But that's sort of a huge anthem in the gay community.
Oh yeah.
It's a big deal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so yeah, those first albums, and I think I was in high school when I got the first one. I would just buy interesting records. I love records. I have thousands of records, and I would just buy interesting records at yard sales and garage sales and things for a quarter a piece from the time I was a teenager. I remember my mother and stepdad helping me move them, and mother saying, "Why couldn't you have collected stamps?"
Oh man.
No,
I think I was in my teens when I got my first Mark Murphy album.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're about 10 years younger than I am, though. Are you 60 yet?
In 29 days.
Oh my God. Are we going to be able to have a party of some sort?
Oh, hell no. We're having a wake.
You're having a wake?
Stop it.
Wait a minute. My brother called me today, and he started comparing me to another TV caster who's. He's going. You look better than her. I was laughing. We're not even awake. You're waking up now. Wait till you see. So
Well, no, that's what I was about to say. Well, that's the original term of wake is in hoping that you will wake up and it's a huge party and
Oh.
is it
everybody.
really? No,
Oh
do
yeah,
tell it. Yeah, I've always
everybody brings
wondered.
their acts and everybody has a few drinks and celebrates. And I want to be around for mine. I want to hear all the great things people say about me.
Well, let's stage that, darling. Let's just stage
Oh, we
it.
should.
What are we talking about here?
We're gonna stage. Well, for owns, like we'll just see what everybody says. But
Oh, my
Really?
gosh. So you're not exact. I want to try to veer away from staging wakes.
Thank you,
So-
Eric.
So yeah, it's crazy. I'm the one trying to steer us back onto. Yeah, no,
that's what you're for, Eric.
no. I always
I
like
would
taking.
get
I always like.
ridiculous.
As far as I'm concerned, you know what the theme song should be. If Nancy and I had a theme song for this show, you know what it would be.
I've lied awake nights thinking about what your theme song would be.
Let's see if it's.
What?
Let's see if it's what I'm thinking of.
You go ahead, because I can't come up with one.
Oh,
Well, just knowing with Nancy and I, we talk and who knows where we go. I think the perfect theme song would be "Detour Ahead."
I love it.
Because
I love
like
it.
what's that in the road? Ahead, a few feet.
oh my gosh. All right. Now what was I going to say? Hold on. I was going to ask you. You were an exaggerator. Nancy sometimes throws me off my game. You were not exaggerating when you say your record collection literally is like in the thousands.
Yes,
Oh my
Do you
god!
still have all the vinyl and stuff?
You
I
don't
still have all the vinyl.
Where do you keep it?
Yeah, where do you
I
keep
still
it?
have you on vinyl. I have a one-bedroom apartment that's full of vinyl. Actually, no, it's my
That can't be
apartment's kind of
healthy.
cool. We call it the Space Age Bachelor Pad. But no, I have a huge closet with all the vinyl in it.
Wow.
I have a 1957 Voice of Music hi-fi to play the mono stuff. I have restored 70s equipment, Harman Kardon,
Ooh,
Yamaha
nice.
to play the vinyl stuff.
Yeah.
And I have there were only 5,000 of them made. I have a 1928 Victor 835 orthophonic Victrola to play a lot of those records. But, oh no, I've just, 78s especially. I can remember going to England and when junk shops were still selling 78s for about 15, 20 cents a piece or the equivalent thereof. And all these great British dance bands, Jack Hilton, Ray Noble, Ambrose, coming back with suitcases full of HMVs to the point where my shoulders were dropping as I was carrying them.
This is one of the things I love about you. You are a curator and historian of the songbook and the songbook music and its history and the different. You talk to me about people that I never even heard of, because I get pulled into. I'll just get pulled into something and I just go down that rabbit hole for a while, But you have a really wide vision of this music.
The songbook is going to be America's greatest legacy, I think, right up there
You mean
with
more
democracy.
than Trump?
I said legacy, not travesty.
Eric says, on that note,
I mean, come on, really? We're having such a grand old time, and you had to drop that name in. Okay.
But
Anyway,
I wanna
continue,
laugh.
Scott.
The songbook is a national treasure. It really is, and it's the songbook. I consider the Great American Songbook to be my friend, and I've been in love with those tunes since I was a kid. And we had a radio station that played beautiful music, WEZG in Syracuse, and my mother used to have it on at home and in the car. And my mom knew the words to everything. That's how I know all these lyrics. and she'd sing along with these instrumental things on the beautiful music. And I just fell in love with these tunes. And my parents played records and played the radio. And it's like, this was the stuff. I mean, this was America's soul, America's heart, soul, and inspiration written in words and music by people who really got it.
Well,
And-
you know, and the point is, I call it America's classical music. I mean, classical music is European music. I think the American Songbook and the jazz and the standards, which a lot of them became jazz standards. That's a whole other conversation and the thing how that all integrated and whatever. But it is America's classical music. And I had the most interesting conversation talking to a 17-year-old student who doesn't understand, like, what's the difference between Ariana Grande and Ella Fitzgerald. Like, she doesn't, you know, like trying to have a conversation with
Oh.
her about the differences here and what these people are doing and what was done and how classic it is. And it'll never go away. But the point of that, it's never going away,
Nope.
ever.
I'm finally starting to believe that.
And someone,
Especially
has
when
to
we have
keep it
people
alive.
like Paul McCartney recording our tunes. And nothing against the Beatles really, but when that whole wave hit, it kind of, and it buried some really good singers and musicians like, you know, Chris Connor, who was coming around at that time and everything, and could have been more popular. And that whole wave hit. But now we've got the guys that were playing three chords and singing music that they wrote themselves, singing the songbook. So obviously, what takes precedence?
Well, you know, in my opinion, and I really, as you know, I don't give a rat's you know what. You know me. The Beatles changed the course of music. They single-handedly changed the course because it went from great songwriters writing classic music to giving a license to anybody in America to get a guitar and play three chords. And you can go to any bar and see guys that with their guitar and playing the three chord thing. Like, you know, you go anywhere. It's
Well, you know, we're all supposed to have our own personal hell, and should we descend there, it's going
I
to be
know
our first nightmare. Mine is filled with singer songwriters.
Amen, brother. Brother D. Thank you. Oh dear. This is live and it's gonna be live, so you're gonna have some people
Oh, I know it.
after
All
your
my
ass.
I hate me.
Hey, I got a question to throw your way, Scott, and I
Yes.
mean maybe Nance can chime in. Is there one singer for you that you felt that you were a fan of, you enjoyed, that maybe never got the due they should have gotten in
Johnny Hartman.
Ooh, wow. You didn't hesitate right there.
No,
That's a great answer too. Yeah.
no, absolutely. Johnny Hartman.
Mm.
I recorded The Folks Who Live on the Hill as kind of my own personal tribute to Johnny Hartman.
Really? Oh.
Should
Yeah.
we hear a little bit of that? If I was going to play something we could play a little something. We don't have to play the whole tune. If I was going to play something from your recording,
Yes.
what would be one of the cuts that you like the best?
Your choice.
Oh boy.
Just one of those things.
Okay. I here's where I'm concerned. Eric, what do you think?
Well, I mean, we are like almost an hour into the show. I think we should roll the dice.
Yeah, because let's see what happens. If hey, people that are listening,
Yeah, let's let
we
people
suddenly disappear. It's because the bots.
It's
Yeah,
because
it's not
I'm
our
clever.
fault.
Remember the spell.
Well, let's play just a little bit of it. If they don't, how do I share this? Everybody, bear with me 1 second. Share sound.
We got nowhere else to be.
I'm having a blast.
Is this it? This is
So,
it.
Eric, what are you up to?
Wait a minute, I'm going to play something, honey. Wait, can everybody see this?
Not a whole lot, Scott, except this show. Oh
What's
yeah,
your
what
best?
Do you
are we
see?
gonna hear?
This is not right. It still isn't. It's hard to find the iTunes. All right, this is it. All right, I'm just going to play just a little bit of this.
It was just one of those things, just one of those crazy flings, one of those bells that now and then rings, just one of those things. It was just one of those nights, just one of those fabulous flights, trip to the moon on gossamer wings, just one of those things. If we thought a bit of the end of it when we started painting the town, we'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. Here's hoping we'll meet now and then. It was great fun, but it was just one of those things.
Woo!
Hey, Cole Porter
And-
smiling.
And of course, the incredible Mike and Dave Salazzo team and Jimmy Johns on that. That was that. Nancy, I think you said it best, that making a recording was the most expensive amusement park ride you're ever going to take in your life. But as soon as it's over, you want to do it again.
Oh God, you never want to not be in the studio and creating ever. Everybody, Donna says nice. Oh, I had that
Look,
picture.
This is such a wonderful
This
photo.
This is the picture of the band that backed you for that.
2013 at Subcat Studios. The band, Scott and Mike and Dave and Jimmy, and who's the chick? Oh, that's right, Nance. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, you couldn't have been in better hands with Mike and Dave and
these
Jimmy.
are all first-rate upstate New York.
And that was my first recording, and I said, I shouldn't say this, but I mean, talk about getting lucky on your first date.
Yeah, right.
No, it's true. Yeah.
I have a great picture to share. Let me share a picture. I just love this picture. Let me share this because it's very interesting. I better move it over here. Eric's actually better at sharing because he does it all the time.
By the way, I don't know if Nance told you, Scott, but at the end of the
this
show, we're going to have you do an a cappella version of My Funny Valentine. Is that okay?
So this,
look at this. Wow, I've never seen this.
Beautiful picture, and I want to explain what it is. This is,
Please.
Of course, the genius engineer Ron Keck, who owns Subcat Studios. I have immense respect for Ron Keck, and don't you, Scott? I know you.
Absolutely.
He is really good at what he does. So
good.
What we were faced with when we went in to record this record was Scott being sight challenged when we put him in the sound booth and then put headsets on him. He felt very claustrophobic. He couldn't, it was a horrible situation. So we had to find him some, what they call open back headsets so he could hear, some room sound. And this is Ron fitting him with those. And we put him out in the middle of the studio so that he could sing and feel. Do you remember how that was?
No, it was like I felt like I was underwater.
It was frightening.
All my senses were cut off. And and thanks to you and Ron figuring that out, that's how the recording happened, actually. And I owe you both a huge thank you for that, because you worked it out. And but yeah, no, it was I think if I had to do it again and I knew what to expect, it might be a little better. But the backless headphones and going out in the middle of the room, it made all the difference in the world.
What's interesting is that I felt the same way. I'm being totally serious here. When I did radio, the headphones that I used to.
530
370226.
Somebody calling.
Oh, no. I thought I had unplugged that. That's my mom calling.
Does your mom know you're on the air?
Yes, she does. I think she's watching, unless she couldn't manage to get it on her iPad. I give my mom so much credit. She's going to be 86, and she has an iPhone and an iPad, and she uses her computer, and
God
she
bless.
signs up for her swimming
And
class.
she just bought a new car, which,
She just bought a new car?
yeah, which gives
Yeah.
me something to look forward to in case my daughters
Yeah,
listening.
she
So-
just, we went down last fall. She just got a new Honda Fit, and it was funny. They had two available, and one was black and one was this really cool shade of blue, but she already had one that was the cool shade of blue. So she looked at the black one, and she ended up taking the blue one. So that the fabulous one, she's, well, now all my friends aren't going to know I have a new car because it's the same color.
Oh, well.
Like the fact that you're still driving and you can pick your friends up and everything else, I really don't think they care about the color.
So
No,
if we were to ask your mom, was Scott a type of child who was always like, singing around the house? Were you did you catch the music bug early?
Extremely early. I was third grade, when they came around to the school and said, do you want to take lessons and be in the band? There was a trumpet in the family, so that was chosen for me, and I was terrible. Even as a toddler, I was into music, and I wanted the radio on all the time and everything. So I got this trumpet, and I was just absolutely off. So my grandmother, to encourage me, went to a music store to get me a music stand, and found this little one manual home organ, and she hadn't played piano in years, but she bought it for herself. We went out to see it. I sat down and just started playing it. So I didn't really sing until I got into high school, but I was a keyboard guy, and I'd get home. I would drop my book bag in the hallway and not even say hello to anybody. I would just go to, I had a really neat Yamaha. The 70s Yamaha organs were great, and I had a great one. And I, not even taking off my school tie, I would just sit down and start to play. But I found singing to be my medium, actually. Sister Rosemarie, and she might be listening, in 7th grade said, Mr. Dennis, you have a voice and you should think about using it. Well, it took me till I was 50 and met Nancy Kelly to do that, but I did.
Well,
yes, and we worked on trying to control Mr. Belty Pants.
Mr. Belty Pants, yes, my alter ego.
Mr. Belty Pants.
Mr. Belty Pants. I tended to belt. I still do the best Ethel Merman impression in town.
Well, let's hear it, for Christ's sake.
Wait a minute, I have to stand up.
No, don't stand up. You'll
right.
do it.
You'll be swell. You'll be great. Gonna have the whole world on a plate. Starting here, starting now. Honey, everything's coming up roses.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute, I do one too. There's no business like show business, like no business I know.
Well, you're not getting one from me. Sorry.
Oh, Eric, come on, be a sport.
Come on, Eric.
No, I can't. I couldn't top Scott's. You think I'm going to try to top the two? No, believe me. You've got the Ethel Merman. You've got Ethel. That's your niche.
My friend Sean and I, and Sean lives in Albany, and we would talk on the phone every afternoon when he was getting home from work and I was making dinner. And we compiled a list of tunes that Ethel Merman should have sung but didn't.
Oh, let's hear that.
Unforgettable, that's what you are.
Or even Carly Simon.
Embrace me.
Or Carly Simon.
My sweet.
My father sits at night with no lights on. His cigarette glows in the dark.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, we have hundreds of them.
This is what we do.
We
And we sit up and we laugh so hard that we can't sleep.
No,
gonna give Ethel just gonna give.
He put up a picture of Ethel.
I figured let's just we've never had an Ethel Merman picture up in the previous 33 shows, so there she is. Yeah.
This is Ethel Ennis. She is not.
No.
no, Ethel Ennis, she is not.
Definitely not.
I wrote Veronica Swift. I said, "Did you ever hear of Ethel Ennis?" She goes, "No. Should I?"
Right.
Well, you know, I'm a huge Rankin Bass fan. The stop action Christmas specials from the 60s, you know, Rudolph and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. They did a Halloween movie called Mad Monster Party. The primary voices were Phyllis Diller and Boris Karloff. So that sets the tone for the whole thing. Well, the theme song, and it sounds like it's got the James Bond guitar and everything else in it. I looked it up. I loved it when I heard it, and I looked it up, and it's sung by Ethel Ennis.
Huh.
It's
I
called
only
Mad Monster
just got,
Party.
I actually was not real aware of her, but it was Tom Emmy who asked me to do it at something by Ethel Ennis. And that's when I got all into her version of Close Your Eyes, which just blew my
Blows
mind.
me away.
Blew my mind. You know, it's all the listening I do, I don't know every single person. It's like today I just found a thing. I just posted it. Did you see what I posted, Eric? It's a recording done in 2018.
Yes, Van and Joey.
Van Morrison and Joey DiFrancesco.
Right.
What?
I said, what? And then I read it about it, and they said that Van recorded it, the entire record, in 2 hours. He nailed everything.
Oh my God, I never knew this existed.
I'll turn you on to it. I'll send you a link.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, it's mind blowing.
I have to check. I have to.
Yeah, check it out.
I've got to check it out.
You got to check it out because I said, wow, Van Morrison. But you know, when you think back and you look at that Moon Dance, which was, in my opinion, just a swing jazzy tune. Ba-doo-day, 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 boom, boop, bop, ba-ba-ba-doo-day. Very, very swingy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do need to say something on a personal level to Scott, and that is that, I mean, of the thousands of records that I was probably sent in my time at WAER, back in my radio days, I mean, most of the records I got, I never really talked to the artist. I would often talk to a record promoter. I would talk to a middle person, and I never actually got to speak with the artist, except on the occasions where I would do interviews. And I will say this. When I spoke with you right after Close Your Eyes came out, and I'm actually putting up a picture now of you and Nancy at Subcat right after you had gotten
I remember that picture.
The first copies of the recording. And then when you got me a copy and you heard me play a track on the radio, and you heard yourself on the radio for the first time, I can honestly say, Scott, I have never spoken with an artist in all my years who was just so genuinely
Grateful.
thrilled and elated to hear their work. Because again, like you said, it wasn't until 50 that you discovered, well, I mean, you and Nancy found one another, and you learned from the best. And this record was obviously a labor of love. But for you to take a moment and call me up and say, Eric, you have no idea how much that meant to me to hear you play the music on a radio. I'll never forget those phone calls. I really will.
That's still one of the finest moments in my life, when I was listening and you played it that night, and I had to call you immediately. It's like, I couldn't believe it. I was hearing myself on the radio, and I never felt anything like it.
I know. I'll never know what that feeling is like to hear. I mean, I've listened back to some of the interviews, but to know something that you worked on with Mike and Dave and Jimmy and Nancy and Ron Keck, and then for it to finally you finally like give birth to this recording, and then it gets played to the masses on the radio. It's a special feeling, and to have the artist directly call me, and I could just hear you smiling through the phone. And Scott, it's something I'll never forget, because I know that record will forever be just.
We're going to do another one. Tell us about the new one we want to do.
Oh, we're going to do, and a working title is The Boys from Syracuse. I don't know if that's copyrighted or not, but we are going to do an album of all Jimmy Van Heusen tunes.
And why Jimmy Van Heusen?
Jimmy Van Heusen being from Syracuse, one of Syracuse's most famous residents. And
next to you.
Aw.
It's true.
But Jimmy Van Heusen won 4 Oscars and I don't know how many other awards, some of the best tunes of the songbook. And he grew up on Roberts Avenue on the west side of Syracuse. Huh. And his tunes are just immortal. And I would love to, as a Syracuse boy, this is my home. I love this place intensely. And as a Syracuse boy, and I just think it would be a great fit to do this record. So
give us some examples of what tunes you might consider doing.
Like Someone in Love, Imagination, All My Tomorrows, Swinging on a Star. I want to.
God, I love that song.
Mark Murphy's Swinging on a Star is just the best. And
I love that song. None of these would work for Ethel Merman.
Oh no, I don't.
Oh, here we go again. We're back to Ethel. There.
Yeah, no,
I should be swinging on a star.
Oh boy.
Eric, how long can you hang? I know you gotta split.
No, I'm good. I was telling Nancy before we even started. I have, as soon as we're done with this show, there's a family Zoom that's happening on my father's side of the family. Some people I have not seen in like years, and they're having like this big Zoom, and they asked if I could drop in, but I think it's probably going to be going until around 9 o'clock. So we're good. We have like we could go. Look, the 3 of us could go for another 2 hours, but no,
the 3 of us could go for another 2 days.
I can hang for.
I thoroughly plan to.
No, in fact, we were talking. You just talked about some of the songs on this upcoming record. I just want to go back one other time to Close Your Eyes, and looking at those 10 songs and knowing the encyclopedia that you have in your head. How hard was it for you and for Nancy? How was it difficult for you to narrow it down to just 10 songs? You probably had about 500 to choose from.
We worked on that hard.
10 tunes was nearly impossible.
Yeah, we worked on it. We spent hours just talking about it.
Oh my God.
We spent close to a year putting that together.
Was it really? Wow.
But we're on hold because of the pandemic. What we want to do is do a GoFundMe, but right now is not the time to ask people for a hand. Everybody's struggling through this.
No, everybody is, and
so it's like we just have to wait. But I know with all of my heart that because we don't need, we could probably pull this off for a very reasonable amount of money. We don't need to talk numbers, but I think we can make it work. Oh no,
I think we could.
We could bring John up, and of course with Jimmy being one of the great drummers that there is, he's right here. Now you're going to hear how producers think, Eric. So and as far as bass players, there's only a couple guys around. They've all moved on. Like Danny Zeman moved to Switzerland, I think, or somewhere like that.
But
why is it that Europeans appreciate American jazz so much more than Americans
Because
do?
they're more educated than Americans.
I've wondered that myself, Scott.
They're more educated than Americans.
Pharma, and as many times as I've been to Europe, and once in a while I've been lucky enough to sit in with a piano player or something, and just the reactions that you get to these tunes and the way you sing them, or Europeans appreciate American jazz so much more than we do here.
Yeah, yeah. I can't explain it. I mean, Nancy's obviously been to
Well, they
Well-
just, there's a lot of answers to that. But like I said, number one is they're more educated, generally. No, number two is there's that whole American thing where we're a bunch of frontier cowboys, like we're just fearless. We're just
Yeah.
going to jump on our horses and just take off and bang, 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 everybody out of the way, like we're Americans.
Yeah.
So
If you have to think about it, there's not enough time.
yeah, no, I mean, yeah, right. So it's being in love with that that kind of freedom, that kind of untethered, no, what's the word? I can't. The word didn't come. Darn it.
it'll come.
I'll call you later, Eric.
Or you call Scott. Both of us, I'm sure.
No,
Actually,
unfiltered. I got
I'm
it. Unfiltered. We are unfiltered. Americans are just, and in Europe, that you just, you just wouldn't. You did. There's a dignity and respect thing that's gone in this country. I mean,
And
all you
I
had to
think
do was
a
see what
sense-
happened this week to know that.
a sense of reverence too, and even
Yep.
down to reverence for these tunes. The tunes of the songbook. I have to talk for a moment about my dear and wonderful friend, the late Phil Klein.
Oh, please.
Yes.
And
Love
I
him.
had the opportunity for 7 years. I had the opportunity to work with Phil once a week at Artist Pianos. It started out as a class for seniors through Oasis, and then when that ended, everybody just decided to keep going. And we would take some weeks we'd take a composer, sometimes we'd take a year, like 1935 or something. And Phil he could play anything in any key, first of all, but he had such a reverence for the songbook and the people who created it and some of the performers who performed it.
Yeah.
And working with Phil every week was like taking a master class. I got my master's degree in songbook from Phil Klein.
Yeah. He
So
just
well
passed, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
very
At night-
recently.
90,
And,
92 years of
93.
age.
my goodness.
So
But,
I have to give a shout out to Phil. I mean, I just Nancy and Phil and a few other people are the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Oh, that's so-
you're going to be back doing it soon. We all hope.
We are.
No, that's so sweet of Scott to mention Phil, because again, every time I saw Phil, talked to him on the phone, it was I learned something new, because he just knew the stories behind. He didn't just play the songs. He told you the stories behind the songs, and in such a way that you could understand it. And he was just so eloquent and such a gentleman. And yeah, that was a tough day to hear that he had passed, but.
I'm so happy I had the opportunity to
Yep.
work with him as long as
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. But you're going to have the same problem with this next record that you did with the previous. I mean, how do you narrow a Van Heusen record down to only 10 songs?
Oh, I know.
But that's where Nancy comes. She'll.
Well,
help you
Mike,
with
I
it.
can answer that.
There's tunes he wrote in the 30s, like "Oh That Crazy Moon," that Jeff Stockham is doing. He has a chart of that great old 30s chart, and he does it with the Stock Market Band.
Right.
And right on up to, I mean, Jimmy Van Heusen wrote "Thoroughly Modern Millie" in 1967. The repertoire is just amazing, and I don't know how I'm going to pick 10 tunes from it. I really don't.
How I've lectured you on this. How are you going?
You were
Here
going to
I go.
explain it,
Don't
Nancy.
let me turn into the teacher right now.
Yes, please.
What makes your decision? Why do you pick tunes?
Because I love them.
But just loving a tune doesn't mean you're going to do it well.
What can I bring to the table? What difference can I bring to the table? with this band?
What are you going to bring to the tune, and what is the tune going to bring to you? And
Yep.
ultimately, what will be the end result of that relationship? You know, because every tune, I once had someone say to me, and I tell this story a lot. I once had someone say to me, "Oh, I can sing anything." And I thought, "Oh, can you?" I don't imagine very well. You know, you have to have some kind of relationship with the piece. It just can't.
Totally,
if you,
totally.
Because if you're going to sing from within the tune, you have to intimately be with the tune. Otherwise, you know, we'll walk around in the handbag of a billion singers that are in America that sing from outside the music, and it's just really boring. So yes, to answer your question, it's really not an easy choice picking
Right.
what goes on a record. And I am guilty of not making good choices myself. You know, it's funny. Sometimes I made choices because they were stuff the audience liked. But you know what you do, and Houston Person taught me this. What you do in a recording studio and what you do live are two different things.
Right.
They're two different things. But
That
we
was
live and learn.
That was a difficult lesson to learn, making Close Your Eyes, is, you know, what I do with my audience and how we relate to each other and everything else was totally different. I had only ever worked with an audience. I had never been in a studio before we made this album. And it was a huge lesson and one well learned. And when we do the next one, I think, you know, it might be a little bit easier. But yeah, it's two totally different things. I mean, Houston was absolutely right.
Yeah, it's a tough thing now. Like with the Mark Murphy record that I did, I had literally thousands and thousands and thousands of his recordings to do from. You know, that was one of the hardest things I ever did.
And you and I talked about that in a couple of tunes that you initially thought about that didn't make it, and I think those were right decisions on your part. But
yeah, I know. It all disappears so quickly.
Scott, somebody asked in the chat, our dear friend Donna Militello Calandra asked a little earlier, if you do you sing Invitation?
I know it, I don't sing it.
Don't sing, okay.
It's a great tune.
Yeah.
I recorded
but I've never done it. You want to try it sometime, Nancy?
Oh, what does it sound like in the beginning? So just tell me the first lyric. What is it?
I'd have to think of it now.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's been so long since I've even heard it.
I recorded it with a guy that did like a Cuban. He wanted to do it with like a, you know, this Latin Cuban feel.
That's right. Was that Craig Russo?
Yes.
Craig Russo. Paulie's, yeah.
Yeah, it was really like a weird.
I remember that project. Yeah.
That's something. And Donna, thank you for the suggestion, because that's a tune I should really work on.
Well, we could.
We could.
Yeah.
Well, again, I mean, there's just such the joy.
I will not live long enough to sing all the tunes I want to sing.
Well, no, there's not enough time. There's just not enough time.
And it's just always fun to discover, you know, new music. Like, I mean, Johnny Van Heusen, sure, people know Come Fly With Me. People know a lot of his quote unquote big hit, but if you go through the Van Heusen discography and listen back to he's got some great nuggets that never really were big hits.
And your smile.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Bring a sweet invitation.
Thank you, Donna. Yes.
Thank you, Donna. Da-boo-dee-da.
Yep.
Da-boo-dee-da-boo-dee. Boy, boo-ba-bee-ah. I don't know. I haven't done it in so long, those intervals.
I know. And
it's a little confining because because the intervals are so. This is the kind of tune where, for me, it's difficult to do because I can't stray from the melody. Because if you stray from the melody, you are then losing what was so important about the tune, are those beautiful intervals.
Well, you taught me that when we were working on Early Autumn a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I was trying to do things with it, and you said, no, you cannot deviate from that melody.
No, there's melodies you can't because they don't lend themselves. Then you lose the song. You're losing what was there. Some things are written so well you just can't change them. And those are the tunes I don't do.
Because you want to sing the Rolling Stones.
I just want a project, whether it's a song or a man.
Oh boy.
That was fun. Well, I heard Nancy interviewed. I forget who the reporter was now, but I heard Nancy interviewed at one time, and she said, "Well, when I was in my teens, I was in a rock band, but then I realized that I want to sing the Rolling Stones my way."
Yeah. Oh yeah. I kind of incorporated it in that last interview. Well, what do you say, Eric?
Well, I have one last picture. I got one last picture to share. I'm going to take you and Scott back to May of 2012. And Nance, you'll have to maybe tell me if you can remember what was going on.
Oh my!
Was this
is
one
my
of your
class?
Was that your class?
That's my class. My
very debonair bald man standing behind you.
Where? Oh, that's Scott.
Where? Come on.
This is a picture from Jazz Central, and this is my class.
2012 is the year, by the way.
So Scott's gone on to record. Okay, wait, let's talk about this. This is good for people.
Do you remember some of these other people?
Oh, yes. Scott's gone on to record. I'm pointing I don't know if people can see my mouse. I hope they can. Gabrielle is now working on Broadway in New York City. Okay.
Gabrielle
Gorman.
Gabrielle Gorman, yeah.
William Gorman has a solo career that is just exploding, singing and playing organ. This young lady, her name escapes me. She went to a Purchase and had an extremely successful college thing that went on down there, and she's in theater now.
Well, we can't see your mouse, so which lady are you speaking of now?
The little blonde young lady standing next to Scott.
The blonde standing to the right of Scott or to the left of Scott?
Well, that would be stage left.
Stage left, okay.
Has anybody got that figured out? Stage left, stage right. So if you're on the stage, whatever is right to you is stage right. But to the audience, it looks like the left. But
it looks like the left.
Yeah, we refer to it. So she is stage left.
Gotcha.
And Hannah Martin, down here on the end, has gone on to, she graduated from Ithaca College and is now teaching jazz down in Ithaca, New York. Jazz
wow.
So I have had, this is a very, very successful class. These people have all gone on to careers in music, and not just careers in music, high-profile careers in music.
And the young woman who's sitting down, she's gone on to even greater heights. I know she does a great Ethel Merman impression, correct?
That was back when I looked good enough to not wear my glasses.
Oh, stop. But anyway, that's the last picture I have to share.
Thank you for finding that. That was
wonderful. Well, you know where I found that? I actually found that on Scott's. Most of the pictures I've shared tonight were through Scott's Facebook page. Got a lot of good photos on there, I must say. Yeah, but
well, Scott,
no, listen.
We can't thank you enough for
you guys. I can't thank you enough. This has been so much fun. I can't remember when I've had so much fun.
It's super, 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 and everybody loves you so much, and we're glad to give you a chance for you to reach new people that are now aware of you, and you know what a great entertainer you are, and a great singer, and just a great friend.
Thank you, and I owe so much of it to both of you, and happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I hope everybody, no matter where they are, feels a little bit of love today.
Yeah, well, I certainly do right now.
I do too.
I do as well, and again, having you on has been just a whole lot of love for the last 90 minutes, and I am certainly excited for the prospects of the boys from Syracuse, and knock on wood, it's gonna
gonna
come
pull it
to
off.
fruition one of
Oh,
these
we're
days.
gonna do it.
We're totally gonna pull that off.
We're
No
gonna
problem,
do it.
man. No
you're
problem.
you're in great
I've got
hands,
the best
Scott.
producer in the world. So
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And again, Scott, we'll talk one late night this week, and you can fill me in on some
Oh no.
stuff about some dirt about Nance. Because I've got some stuff on her that I bet you'd like to hear.
Eric, give me a call anytime.
Okay, you got it, Scott.
Oh
We're
no.
good.
Oh no.
All right. Anyway,
All right, my dear. Have
happy-
you had some dinner yet? Are you and Robert going to prepare something fabulous?
We are going to have an incredible Trader Joe's vegetable lasagna.
Oh, I love their vegetables. That's great. That stuff
Oh,
is so good. I keep forgetting
wonderful.
to buy it every time I go in.
maybe
It's wonderful.
maybe Scott's trying to get us a endorsement. Maybe he's trying to get us a sponsorship from Trader Joe's. I like
Oh,
that, Scott. I
I'll
like
work on that.
I want to ask the lady whose frames that I have on. There's a couple, we could do an endorsement that way, but now this is silly. We're just talking like we're just talking, which is what we do.
Exactly.
And-
But listen,
Thank
happy
you,
Valentine's.
guys. This was incredible. I've had such a wonderful time. Thank
And
you.
I will send you a link that you could, it's up on YouTube instantly because we're now broadcasting live on YouTube as well. So
Oh, cool.
I'll send you a link so you can sit and watch it.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah,
A
I know you
happy-
would.
A happy Valentine's Day to you both. A happy early birthday to you, Scott.
Oh, thank you.
And also, God bless to your lovely 86-year-old mother, who, if it was not for her, we wouldn't be talking to you right now. So,
She's listening.
I hope so, but we're going to have a link. So if she's not, you can help her see it again.
Yay.
You put it right in her email. Does she have email? I'm sure she does. If she's
Oh, yes.
buying
yes.
new cars, she has email.
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy.
All right. Happy Valentine's Day. to
Happy
two of my
Valentine's
favorite
Day.
gents.
Thank you guys.
You're the best, Scott. Thanks for joining us. Nance, we'll see you next week.
All right.
right.
Who's on? We'll see you.
Carmen and Tori Jr.,
My drummer, Carmen.
your drummer. Yeah, so join us next Sunday for that. And until then, Mr. Belty Pants, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And Ethel Merman, I'll see you next week.
All right. Night, night. Night, night.
Night.
Love you guys. Take care.
Love you. Night, night.
Love you.